I love it. Brenna was right before the show. She's like, I'm going to get some water in before it. It's okay. It's natural. You can have a little water.
Trying to wet the whistle.
Welcome back to another Elevated Marketing podcast. My name is Jennifer Denny.
And I'm Brenna Jackson. Said hatful.
Close. Not quite. It's almost there. Brenna's about to get married, so very exciting. I will be a Denny forever, so. Well, we like to talk about complicated digital marketing topics to help your business grow. And I think today's topic is one of those that is a little uncomfortable. Wouldn't you agree?
For sure.
Maybe it's time to look for a new marketing agency. And in an uncertain market, that seems like, ooh, do I want to make change, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's the best time to make change.
Well, when stagnation feels like it's there and, you're not getting fresh ideas and all kinds of things that we're going to talk about today, sometimes changing it up gives you something new to look forward to. And so I want to talk through why now is probably a good time to change marketing agencies.
Yeah. Well, it's about making smarter decisions, maybe not always taking the safe route. As comfortable as we are in our bubble, sometimes you do have to step out of that, to see change and to see growth.
Yeah, and in the marketing world, it's highly competitive right now. I would definitely say that. And so looking at your existing agency or a new agency will give you possibly that competitive advantage. So let's talk through maybe our reasons that we feel like you should think about it. So the agency you hired can't handle you hired them for growth and they just are stagnated. And most agencies look really good when the economy is booming, but people who show up when things are tough and start to adapt and take action and can handle pressure and perform when there is that pressure, when markets dip, like that's the type of agency that you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want those fresh ideas. And, if we're in an economy right now where maybe things are a little chaotic and where there's just stagnant, if without those fresh ideas, it's kind of hard to move past some of the chaos, but also to stand out too. We know it's always important to stand out, but some could say maybe now more than ever.
Yeah. I know the devil feels safer than the ones you don't. I know that is what you're thinking, and it feels comfortable, but I always like to say you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because these things happen.
Growing pains.
What's that?
Growing pains.
Yeah. So if your marketing feels busy, but doesn't actually drive results, so there's things that are happening, but you're not really talking about what the actual results are. They're probably avoiding what the results are, because even if they're down, they need to know why they're down and what they're doing about it, or they're asking great questions.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, telling the story behind not only the results that are there, but where we go from here, whether good results, maybe results that are on a decline, it's combating that and being able to show like, what, these are the steps we took and here's what we're going to do next, given these metrics, KPIs, whatever it may be. But
I think what goes along with that is if your agency is not asking about your sales. Like I know at the top of every call, it's one of those I know that can set the entire tone of the meeting is, so how's business? And that is a loaded question, but I'm ready to hear that, and I want to understand, how their pipeline functions, like where leads are falling off, like why are they saying no? Because that's going to help us as a marketing agency be able to be like, okay, well, they're not quite understanding these aspects of how you can actually help. So we need to build content or adjust your messaging to really address that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I know you've mentioned this before, but it's, marketing and sales, we know that goes together. But if your marketing is maybe selling something that isn't quite accurate, or maybe it's the other way around, it's being sure that those are on the same page and that messaging is cohesive. And in the end, you're getting those closings.
Yeah. Also, like if you're doing more in-house than you should, I really think about this if your marketing agency is always asking you for ideas on where you should go next, that's a big red flag. Like it's their job to come up with those ideas and to talk it through with you and see if that is a good idea. If they're not holding themselves accountable and being efficient and using, some of the tools that we have today in order to be more efficient, they're just not being strategic, and they're relying on you to do the work when the job is for them to do the work and to make it easier on you.
Yeah. Or maybe it's you're not getting the answers that you're looking for. Maybe you're finding yourself coming up with all these questions, or maybe doing some of your own research to find these answers that you should be seeking from your marketing agency. I kind of loop that into with maybe you're doing a little bit too much more in-house than you should be.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely be overdue for a new perspective and give your existing, agency a chance. If you're feeling like it's bland and it's boring, and hey, what fresh ideas, like what can we do differently right now? Give them that opportunity and to come to the table. And then if you're not impressed with it, that's definitely where you need to look outside and see like who does have that, maybe new perspective. I definitely think about when you're, interviewing a new agency, like what are the questions that they're kind of asking you? Of course, they can't go into like a full brief in that first call of all the questions that they should ask you, but they certainly should be ready for it.
Yeah, definitely. It's, going back to maybe that strategic partnership in a sense. It's, you can have those tough conversations and be able to still come out of it with a fresh perspective.
Yeah. Definitely, not all agencies are equal. It's stakes are high right now, and you really should be looking for those proven frameworks. Have they done it before? Are they familiar with your industry? Do they have case studies? Do they understand sales and marketing going together? I'm a big believer in full in-house execution and less, they're very transparent that they're not actually doing it. You want that accountability and quality. I mean, you got to have transparent KPIs, like no fluff. We're talking about it. We're looking at the numbers. It's very strategic, not a task taker. Someone who challenges your assumptions. I mean, if you want to work with someone that will challenge you, I think I can check that box for you.
Well, it's about it's business. Tough conversations are happening. I said it earlier, but growing pains, it's part
Yeah.
of it.
But I think there's things that, other than the uncomfortableness and, like I said, the devil feels better, that really makes you want to say, well, I'm not sure I want to go through a new marketing agency. So before we wrap this up, I definitely want to talk about like what some of those nightmares are.
Yeah.
So the first one I think about is, I know it's a lot to go through onboarding. And it does take a lot of work of catching people up. It makes me want to think about putting our onboarding document on, like, as a downloadable on our website, because we try to give you those things that would help you. So I'm like, ding ding, marketing idea.
Honestly, I like it.
What other ones do you think about?
That they're not that bad syndrome. No more making excuses.
Yeah, they're either hitting deadlines and they're pushing your thinking. They're highlighting what's working, what's not, or they're not. It's really
yeah.
misplaced. Misplaced loyalty. If you've been with someone for years, I think you should definitely give them the benefit of the doubt for sure. But if they're just kind of stuck and they're not able to get out of that rut of things are tough right now, and okay, agreed, but what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. How do we overcome that?
Yeah.
There's also the fear of making the wrong call again. Maybe you're kind of kicking yourself in the bum right now and you don't want to have to go through that again, but
yeah. Well, I think that is, you want to look for agencies that have lots of testimonials and case studies, and you're not dealing with someone new, maybe even awards on their website, and you're not the guinea pig. They've done this before. Maybe they're well known in the market, and that should give you the confidence that this is a good decision.
Definitely.
So what is it really costing you to not change agencies? Leads that never get generated, campaigns that miss the mark, ad spends that don't convert, sales and marketing that are misaligned, and really just a brand that sounds like everybody else.
It's honestly like our nightmare. We're different. We want to make sure our clients are different too.
There you go. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for this topic. So, maybe give us a shot. You can find us on elevatedmarketing.solutions, or you can certainly follow me, Jennifer Denny, over on LinkedIn. We do have a newsletter over on LinkedIn as well as on our website. If you go over to the knowledge, you will find that there. So, all right. Take care.